This is damp.ai, the data logger system, which obviously I've uploaded your files and they are here. And I'm going to look at the subfloor void because I remember now I remember the property. You're doing some work to it, and the subfloor void has very high levels of relative humidity. I'm guessing you know that, and it's not showing signs of drying out despite going through the summertime. You can see, so this is the surface relative humidity, and that's not even taking into account the potential temperature difference. I'm going to guess the temperature is probably more like 13. And that would put it at 100%. Well, even 14 puts it at pretty much 100% most of the time. Yeah, so this is probably the right temperature. Compared to the house, you've got a lot of vapor in the subfloor, and I don't see much in the way of drying out. Now, you had a leak in the subfloor, and this could be residual damp. I asked you to investigate various pipes. I think I also cleared one, or at least I remember to the front there was a pipe that was shedding water into the subfloor. I think you just need to make sure that there's no rainwater drainage or foul water drainage going into the subfloor. And you might have to use CCTV cameras to do that. I think you already did that, but there clearly is a source of water there. It's possible that it's coming on your neighbour's side. Really, after 9 months, you would expect to see more drying out, I think. So there's more vapor in the subfloor compared to in the house. Now, the house itself is damp in itself. So if I look at the reception and compare it to the bathroom and update the graph, and the temperature, I can't remember now. I think the temperature was, if we put, I think it was 17.5, something like that, but that you should put in the actual temperature, but I just recall it being that or somewhere near that. You got very high levels of relative humidity on the reception wall. The vapor level is much higher than the outside. So the external vapor, if we zoom in on, you can't see it, but I'm zooming in from underneath. And so this line here is the dew point line, tells me how much vapor there is in air. Compared to the outside, you've got a lot more vapor in your air. So this is the external dew point line, this light blue line. And if you have perfect ventilation, you would quickly replace internal air with external air, and you would have no more dew point than the external air. But that's clearly not happening. As a minimum, you want to keep the internal dew point below, so underneath the outside temperature, otherwise you run a risk of condensation. If you compare it to the bathroom, so this is a dew point differential line, and you should have more, well, you should have similar amounts of vapor in the bathroom and but in fact you've got a lot more in the reception, which is strange. I seem to remember that you did have some hygroscopic salts, but this is really high relative humidity. To hygroscopic salts, you'd expect it to be in this sort of area between 55 and 65% most of the time. You need to increase the ventilation and the dehumidification to bring this line down below the outside temperature. A dehumidifier, 20-litre dehumidifier, will go a long way. but I think you're going to have to increase your ventilation.